The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only
My name
mode.
is Jacek Kopania. I am SAP consultant in Business Consulting Center company. Today I will present to you what is the change request management. During the presentation I will discuss what exactly is SAP change request management, called CHARM. Then I will introduce the basic user roles such as requester, change manager, tester, developer, IT operator, and change advisory board. Another element I will take into account will be the basic functionality of CHARM in version 7.1, such as request for change, normal change, urgent change, and retrofit. At the end of the presentation, I will introduce the benefits of using change request management. I will start from answering the main question: what is change request management? Change request management is a component of the SAP Solution Manager which allows for comprehensive project management from planning to project management, finishing with the implementation of the changes to target system. As one of the processes, application lifecycle management is fully based on ITIL standards. Each stage of the project requires from dedicated participant concrete actions by which processing of the change is smarter, better documented, and IT resources consumption decreases. With the multi-stage process of change, CHARM reduces risk of erroneous implementation of incorrect fixes and facilitate daily work with change via web interface. Standard workflow begins with creation of change request by requester, or other authorized person like a service desk member. Then the request goes to the change manager, which categorizes the request, specifies all the information required to further processing of the change, and submits it for approval. In final stage, change manager is releasing the request for change to development system, where he is asked to determine a team of development, tester, and IT operator. After correct implementation of the change to production system, change manager can finish processing and use this change in read-only mode later. For effective management of change in change request management 7.1, this is a web interface that is very clear, powerful, and facilitates daily work of end users, developers, and other involved employees. The view depends on different permissions, which are assigned to specific users. Some of the users can have limited view and see only option to create new requests. And of course, every can be fully matched to requirements of the user. The bigger advantage of change request management is search engine, which allows to filter change requests and change documents in many different ways. Filtering can be set to display changes with specific ID number range, containing specific text in description, various priority, and many other combinations. More complicated and regularly used searches can be saved as templates for further use. Creating reports in change request management is possible with a tool called CHARM reporting, from which we can create reports based on creation date, project name, priority level, type of change, system ID, and other options. A report can be presented in a table which shows basic information about change like type, ID number, status. Preview of the details can be seen for each change by double-clicking on it, or can be accessed via web interface. There is also a graphical report available which is based on defined criteria. Report illustrated in the slide indicates how many changes are in different statuses. Another important issue is the role of individual users participating in processing of the change. User starting the process is called the requester. He creates requests for change based on the observed abnormalities in a system, or he just wishes to implement some improvements. After creation of the request, Change Manager has to verify a request and fill the rest of the data required for further processing of the change. He is responsible for determination of priority, categorization, selecting members of Change Advisory Board, and setting scope of the system involved in a particular change. Change Advisory Board is a team which grants approval from business side. Members of this team are specified by Change Manager. Developer makes adjustments to the developer system. Tester verify all adjustments on quality assurance system. And IT operator is responsible for implementation of changes to the test and production system. The first step in the processing of the change is request for change. As the name is pointing, in this step, requester can ask software change, system upgrade, implementation, or adjustments, or any other change which is not related to the subsystem, such as repair of laptop or printer. After filling all required fields in the request for change, it can be passed to Change Manager, which has to set priority mandatory to determine change document type. Type like normal change, it's for standard daily changes, urgent change for changes with high impact, general change for non-stop changes, admin change for configuration which doesn't need to use transport. Each request for change has to go through the approval process, which is composed of Change Manager approval and optionally Change Advisory Board approvals. If request for change will be rejected by one of the Change Advisory Board member, then it's automatically closed, or if everything goes fine, change document can be created. The diagram shows all the steps in a request for change. The requester initiates the request with the filled fields. Change Manager determines the scope of the systems covered by request, sets category, which is available from 4 levels. He can choose from non-stop turn pointing to repair of laptop, or choosing specific system like SAP ERP. Based on information gathered from a requester, he can set priority and add members of Change Advisory Board. In next step, Change Advisory Board approves or rejects request, and in last step, Change Manager can pass change forward and create change document. On the following slide, you can see an example of standard request for change. Some of the fields are mandatory, rest of them are optional. Of course, request for change can be customized, and another mandatory fields can be added or deleted. To save time of processing change, predefined templates can be used. Templates contains fields for regular changes. Subject of the change is defined in a description field. Sold to party determines company or department name. Change Manager can be chosen from drop-down list in a dedicated field. Priority can be set with impact fields. Dates area is showing all the information about time of creation, last change, and till what date change is valid. Change planning area is designed to set approval procedure, project, and solution involved in change. Categorization of the request can be made in multi-level categorization. In relationships area, all the related incidents, problems, knowledge articles can be linked. Under main field details can be found text area, where all of the essential information can be included, or one of text template can be used with predefined text for each phase. Under the text window, with logs are shown. All previous activities like creation dates, status change, comments, and so on. The picture below shows some additional fields, such as scope, in which Change Manager selects the systems that change concerns. Approval field is used to determine Change Advisory Board, and later in the same area, requests can be approved or rejected by them. Attachment box allow to add some files like docs, PDF, and many more documents. In document section can be attached files which were previously used in other projects. Going forward, all details of project solution, related transactions, scheduled jobs can be previewed. Even processing log can be shown with the details containing type of activity and time. In last field, time which was taken for processing of the change can be recorded. Of course, fields are not mandatory and can be deleted in customized view. Upon approval of the application, one of the options is to create a normal change. Normal change is created for the changes that are not too complicated or urgent, but require good coordination and appropriate approval. Normal change must pass a series of tests before it can be implemented in target system. It's usually associated with standard retaining system tasks. Normal change starts with the approval of request for change by Change Manager. Then it's forwarded to defined developer. In this phase, developer is required to implement corrections defined in request for change. After correct implementation, he can pass change to IT operator, which has to move changes to quality assurance system, or this part can be replaced by automatic import job. In next phase, tester has to verify proper implementation of changes. After his approval, IT operator can import changes into a production system. If change will be rejected in any of mentioned phases, then it automatically returns to development system and previous transport. And previous transports can be imported to production system. At this slide, we can see standard change document. It contains information previously entered in request for change, plus some additional fields such as information about base from which information about system are collected, about current processor and team called to perform this change. Another vital field that are joined to the change document are transport management and landscape informations. Transport management is a place where all the transport can be managed and previewed. From this window, new transport can be created, released, edited, or removed. Landscape field shows which system is currently being edited. When a change moves forward, another system or client is show up on the list. Directly from this list, a user can log into a system. Another available document is urgent change. Urgent change is used in case of serious problems affecting large number of users and processes. This change is fully optimized for fast processing by the users involved in the implementation. Often used without request for change for saving the time. It's fully integrated with SAP Transport Management, which allows to process changes much faster. This diagram is very similar to the normal change process, but there is one difference. The changes are automatically transferred to the test system, by which changes processing time is reduced. And the amount of the actions for each processor are shortened. Another interesting feature is Retrofit. In an environment consisting of dual subsystem landscape, changes can be made parallel in two separate environments, which is called Retrofit. Developers' changes may be implemented in the development environment, and when all bug fixes can be processed in the maintenance environment. In order to avoid overwriting of changes using parallel imports, controlled implementation to the target system is using the functionality of Retrofit. The current slide shows how to process the change using Retrofit. That allows separation of long-term tasks in development environment, and other tasks related to the maintenance of the system don't have to be disturbed by implementation projects in development landscape. Each project can be processed in different environment by another team. First, the changes are implemented in development. Then, if retrofit functionality is active, change can be retrofitted to second environment, which is development landscape, and can be processed forward as standard change to come back to maintenance landscape if a change is done. Changes done in maintenance projects should be duplicated in development landscape to provide the same production system finally. In conclusion, I will present the benefits of implementing change request management. Charm improves performance through the use of change management scheme, reduce cost of integration and regression testing. An important advantage is to reduce the risk of errors that result from difference in environment or transport sequence. Application, which is a change request management, allows to documenting changes, able to fast review of changes that have been made or still in progress, lets to create useful reports and reduce use of IT resources. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask them in the chat area. I will answer all of them before end of the week, sending you email. Thank you very much again.